Welcome everybody. We will begin now. So again, thank you for logging in today for iLend's new release version 3.7.1's webinar. Today's focus will be around the workflow, and I'm hoping that you'll all be very excited with the changes that we've made. I'm now just going to give you access to my screen. Before I begin, just to confirm that this is obviously a recorded webinar today, and if you do have obviously your headset or microphone available, please ensure that it is muted so that it's not going to cause any interference with the recording. Any questions will be greatly appreciated at the end of the session today. Feel free to give me a call or send me an email with a question or queries or feedback after today's session. Okay, so today is all about the workflow. So where I'm going to go now is into our customers tab and find a quick client to show you around. And I'm just going to search for Miss Pamela Anderson. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is take you straight into her loan scenario. So how this is viewed hasn't really changed, but what you'll see now on the screen is that the entire screen in terms of the workflow and how it's all presented is very, very different. So I'm just going to go through some of the areas now and explain what those are. So first of all, the workflow tab used to be in the middle section next to the documents and conditions. That's now no longer there. What you can do is preview any of the previous stages of the workflow in the section here, and obviously also then preview your current stage of the workflow that you're at. So I'm just going to create a new one just to show you what it would look like obviously when you do create a brand new scenario. Bear with me a moment, and I'm just going to go back a step here. So I'm going to click my customer and create a new loan scenario here. So it doesn't really look too different, but there are some slight changes that I think you'll really like. So the first thing obviously is that you still add the loan as you normally would. Your change status buttons are still there. Under applicants, you are able now to add up to 6 applicants in any one go. All you do is you simply click on the plus sign, find the additional client in your database, and attach them to the loan scenario. So there's more scopability there to add as many as you may need. Documents conditions hasn't changed. However, what we have given you now is a log. So as well as the customer record, as we showed you last week in the other demonstration, is that we've given you a log. So this will show you every step, action, task, or any stages of the workflow that have been completed. So as you can see, I've already created a new loan scenario, so it's already given me my first action point to say that it's been created. If I go to my new button, again, I've got the activity. I can create a history record if I wanted to, a note where I can attach any kind of document, my tasks and appointments. So that's going to be available wherever you see the log. And again, you do have two areas of two tabs where you can view the information. So you've got the category, which is where I'm at now. And you can also then click on my date. So if you're wanting to see things in date order as to how they've occurred, you click on the date option. So back to the category, if I wanted to create something here, for example a task, I can click on the task option and it will give me my task template. So again, nothing's really changed in this section in terms of how this looks and feels. There is obviously a change to the colour scheme, but you can then create your tasks as you normally would. And I'm just going to keep that as it is, and I'm going to change the date and click OK. And I'll show you where to go back to those in a moment. So that's under the log of the workflow, I guess the loan scenario page. The other, any additional information that you can't fit into any of the other areas, you are able to add into this section. So for example, your consultant fees and the source of where the information or the person or the clients come from. And obviously you do have here a do not mail, so again it's making sure that you've got that availability to you. Okay, so that's under other. Bear with me a moment. Okay, so that's next to the log tab. Now up above, I'm sure you're eager to find out how this is going to look and feel. So what we've given you first off is a timer. So whenever you create a new scenario, it will give you a 90 days timer. So this will give you a scope of where things are at, how long things should take to have it all in place by the end of that 90 days. So again, an NCCP requirement is that 90 days. So this is a timer for you to keep on track of how long things are taking, and obviously this will count down accordingly. What you can see as well is that this is now the prospect appointment stage of the workflow. You can click on the stage link in blue to read obviously what's involved in that particular stage of the workflow. Now before, in the old workflows tab, what we had was the alphabet, and under each of those letters would give you an outline of the action points and what you need to do. So this is a similar thing, other than you just click on the stage link and it will drop down if you hold your cursor on that area to give you the information. So what this will ask you to do is actually to add key dates into the database. So assessment dates, you can enter into pre-approval dates, finance and settlement dates. So those aren't too different, but it will affect your workflow. So what I'm going to do is say that, for example, the due date for the appointment it's triggered today. So if I want to change that, I can by clicking on the drop down calendar option. If I left that today and I put it in as if that actually did happen today, you'll see that then you'll get a tick and a cross to say whether you want to complete that stage of the workflow. So I'm going to click on the tick just to say yes, and you'll see that that's now completed that stage. Any previous stages of the workflow that you've done, you'll have an option at the top to preview, and it will show you the due dates they were due and the actual dates that was completed, and any comments that you've entered at that time. So you can minimize that to keep it all looking very neat and tidy, but you can use that at any time. The current stage is always allowing you to add any comments about that particular stage of the loan process. You will have on the right hand side here, which looks like a bit of a clog, a drop down option. So with each of the stages there'll be key functionalities or emails or something that you need to do, and again you have the option here to select something from this section here. So print your loan profile summary or whatever it may be from this section too, so you can use that there. Now what you obviously need to do is, or what you still can do is, when you do add the loan into the system, I'm just going to quickly add something now to show you that the triggers will still populate. So as soon as you make a status change, it will trigger your emails, your tasks and so on. So that won't change at all. And I'll quickly just put something in here. There we go, and I'm just going to save that now so you can see a loan scenario with all of the information. So I'm just going to update the status change as you normally would. You put the tick on the left hand side of the link that you're trying to update and click on change status there. I'm just going to say that's lodged, and again it confirms all of your areas necessary, or your records, and it's already pre-populated the next task. So again, it's up to you whether you accept those prompts as and when they come up. So if I had a finance date or an approval date in here, I'm just going to add some dates now so that you can see some of the triggers. So every time you get to the next stage, it'll give you the actual due date, and what will happen is it will tell you whether that expected date will actually be achieved given the dates that you've put in here as well. So the system will flag with a traffic light system, a green for go, that's all good, an amber and a red. So if you see any of your tasks, again I'll go back to this in a moment, or your workflow as it is here showing green, it means pretty much you're on par with the expected dates that you've put in, or your due dates. And if that is on amber, it means you've either gone overdue on the expected dates that you've entered, or in terms of the workflow steps that have already had like a